Hello, everyone, and congratulations! You have reached another very important milestone in our Autodesk Inventor Professional tutorial series. And after this video, we're going to start talking about the assembly mode, finally. And this is just a quick introduction video. It's going to be a short video. And just to be on the same page about the path we're on in this tutorial, first we cover the sketch concepts. And creating a sketch is probably the most boring part for many people because you're just drawing in 2D. It is understandably more interesting to design a 3D part. That's more exciting. And a sketch is like a foundation of a building. So the building may be the center of the attention, but of course you need a foundation first. Sketches work the same way in a CAD software. And then after the sketch concepts, we talked about applying modeling actions to the sketch and to create a 3D object. And then we talked about how to modify that 3D object and then finish the design. So after that, what is the next step? The next thing to do is designing another part, and then another part, and then another, until all components are designed. Of course, if these are custom-made components, then we have to design them ourselves. And sometimes these components are purchased components, and sometimes CAD files already exist provided by those suppliers, as we talked about in the productivity video. We can just take advantage of those CAD files and find them from their websites and use them in our designs. And then once we have all components ready, purchased or fabricated, the next step is putting them together and creating the assembly. So now you're looking at the home screen in our Autodesk Inventor Professional software, and you have multiple options to go into the assembly mode. As you will remember from previous videos, we have this drop-down menu here. You can select the assembly. In parentheses, you have .iam, which stands for Inventor Assembly. You can see that the part icon is just this blue cube. Now in the assembly mode, you have the blue cube and a couple of other cubes, which means multiple components come together and create the assembly. But you have multiple other options to go into the assembly mode. You have this drop down menu here as well. You can click on assembly here and that will take you to the same place. Also, you have the file menu and you can click on the arrow and select assembly. And again, that will take you to the assembly mode. And of course, as we mentioned that in the previous videos, you can directly click on the new button or here in this new button. That will take you to the create new file folder. And we're going to talk about this in the future after we cover the drawings in this tutorial. We're going to create our own templates. We're going to create our own assembly templates, drawing templates, or part templates. That way we can just kind of predetermine some of the settings so we don't have to set them up every time, like dimensions and units and the character sizes and fonts, everything. So we're going to talk about that later. Right now, we don't have to worry about it. So let's just use one of these options like this drop-down menu and create an assembly. So just like how we created a part, and that the part was named part one, and when we create an assembly, the assembly is named assembly one. And it looks pretty much the same way, same user interface. You have the browser tree on the left side. In the part menu, you are creating features, and all those features are listed in the browser tree. In the assembly mode, you are adding components or sub-assemblies. So those components or sub-assemblies are going to be listed in the browser tree. And as you can see, the first two options are place and create. So you can create a component in the assembly mode. You can design it like you were in the part mode. You can just create the part, or you created the part before, maybe it's in some other folder. You can use the place function, and then you can just bring that part into your assembly. And as you know, there are assemblies all around us. A car, for example, is an assembly. Your phone is an assembly. A coffee machine, a vacuum cleaner, all assemblies because multiple components come together and create them. A pen you write with, for example, is an assembly. You can take the pen apart right now. You would have multiple components on your hand. You can design each one of those components individually, and then when you put them together, you create the pen assembly. So in the next videos, we're going to design the parts in the assembly mode and learn about how to orient them, how to position them, and create the assemblies we want to create. So see you in the next videos.